Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's get into it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
This 88-foot-long pipe mysteriously burst out of the ground on a highway in Japan, stopping traffic and surprising locals. It almost looks like something you'd see in a certain video game. The steel pipe rose more than 42 feet into the air. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Authorities are still investigating what caused it to shoot up out of the ground. We do know that construction was underway at the site to connect a sewer line to a massive underground rainwater storage system to prevent flooding. The 88-foot steel pipe was supposed to hold back surrounding soil during excavation. The pipe's now been mostly pushed back underground, and officials plan to cut off the part that's still sticking out.
I buried my pops July the 4th, 2012. So I would show this image to my dear friends. First, I told my mom, and my mom is very spiritual, but she jokingly said, "That's probably your daddy coming to me before he crossed over." You know, he always want somebody. You know, she kind of played it off like that.
Mm-hmm.
My father, my whole father's side, they very sarcastic. So it would be times that I would try to show this image and I wouldn't be able to find it. And I know exactly when the image happened because I know the exact date. But it's a picture of my father. And I would show it to my friends and they'd be like, I'd let you see somebody like, "Yeah, man, look at that pop." And I'd tell them the date. And then I could like see goosebumps. I seen like on my friend, I see him get like chill bump, like, man, hell no, you know? And so, yeah, it really happened. It's a real thing. And I discuss it in the book, although I don't put the picture in the book.
Okay, hold on a second. Pete Hegseth. I bet you they wish they aired this from that guy's angle and not this angle, because you just missed something that could be nothing, but also looks like something. Watch this. They shake hands. Oh, wait a minute. Where do they do funny secret handshakes again? Watch it again. Is it a big club that we're all not in? Quickly, you would have never seen this if you were watching TV. You would have never noticed that in time. You slow it down, and you see a handshake I've never done. If I shake hands, it's a firm grip. I don't put my finger on that part of their wrist. Like, what's going on? And in totally unrelated news, here's a handshake if you're in a secret club that you literally have to vow secrecy if you want to join. But I'm sure it's nothing.
This may sound crazy, and feel free to correct me if you think I am wrong, but I truly believe that what is happening in Kensington, in Philadelphia, is a simulation created by the fucking CIA. And I don't even talk like that. I'm not even that type of person. But I'm telling you guys, that right there was a CIA infiltration. I don't know. This is all assumption. But y'all gotta hear me out. That is some CIA planted simulation shit. I'm going to die on that hill. I am going to die there because it don't make no sense.
I mean, look at it, y'all. This is in the streets of America. Every city. Damn near every city in America. Every big city.
It's crazy.
Just strung out, y'all. Cops walk by. God forbid I walk down the street with a beer, right? At least he's got his little protein shake over there. He's getting some protein. That's crazy though, y'all. And I guess this used to be a real wealthy part of Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today? You want an interview, big bro? You want to get paid for one? Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go over here.
When you wake up every morning, you have the desire to get high. Is that the number one thing that pops up on your mind?
It's even when I'm sleeping. And then it's not a desire to get high, it's a desire to get well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's no
because
more getting high.
There's no more getting high.
It's just I have to use this so that I'm not
Substance to
throwing up, pissing out of my butt, you know, all the symptoms of withdrawal. You know? So if you weren't using drugs, you'd be a lot sicker than you are right now. that what you're saying?
If I didn't use drugs today, I would not be here right now. I would be curled up in a ball somewhere, puking my brains out.
So we were just talking to Vinny, and now Vinny told us, he came back and grabbed me. He said, you got to go over to this guy named Eddie's house, right?
Correct.
Eddie. What does Eddie do?
Eddie is, I would say, a provider to the neighborhood. He's a little bit of a crazy guy, but he really does help the community. You guys are about to see, so that's where we're headed now.
I'm going to take Vinny's word on this one. We're going over to Eddie's house right now. Hopefully nothing bad happens.
And as soon as I turned the corner to go to Eddie's house, I was welcomed by a bunch of screams from people outside of Eddie's house.
And they don't want them selling drugs.
I do not think it was a good idea to go to Eddie's house, and I don't know why I followed Vinny to go there. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and give this video a like. I will be responding to your comments down below. This is Nick, and I will see you next video.
You know, these all... I think it started off as a CIA infiltration thing, and it bloomed to this, and now this is just this is the reaps of what they sowed back then in the 80s, 90s when they brought these into the communities, the lower poverty communities, and now it's just that tree bloomed, right? That's what I think.
So you saw the video of the person that got kicked out of the movie theaters for wearing green face paint to the Wicked premiere. Well, here's the absolutely horrific story of why that rule is in place. On July 20th, 2012, 24-year-old James Egan Holmes went to the midnight screening of Dark Knight Rises in Aurora, Colorado. After about 30 minutes into the movie, he would leave the theaters, go out to his car, dress up in tactical gear, and bring tear gas and a rifle into the theater and begin shooting. This resulted in the death of 12 innocent people just trying to watch a movie, and 70 others were injured. Holmes took medication pills prior to this so that in case he got shot, it, quote, would not hurt him. He was arrested shortly after. However, he knew that the police would raid his home, and he rigged the entire house with explosives. Thankfully, those explosives were defused. In court, he attempted to plead insanity, however, that did not work. He was charged with 24 counts of first-degree murder and received 12 consecutive life sentences without parole. He also received an additional 3,318 years for attempted murder and possession of explosives. This incident led to heightened security throughout theaters nationwide. His youngest victim was 6-year-old Veronica Moser Sullivan, and she would have been 18 years old today.
How many? See, you think 3 life sentences, like, why are you even adding on an extra 318 years? Like, what is that going to do, right? All he needs is 1 life sentence. But y'all, they know something. They know something we don't know, right? His soul for the next 3 life sentences and then another 3. So 6 life sentences in total, y'all. He's stuck. He's stuck there. He's in prison. He's under the prison, y'all. They know something we don't know. That's why they do these 5 consecutive life sentences, because once you die, they know something we don't know.
Cows are to go around for the fast food industry.
Oh, please don't do this.
How many cows?
The math doesn't add up. Okay. Just the fast food industry, just McDonald's alone produces 6.5 million burgers per day.
Damn.
And there's enough cows to go around?
A day.
If you test the meat in Taco Bell, it's barely beef, like, at all. 70%. So we're talking 30+% of something else. Just saying.
You think they're feeding us humans?
That's what Putin said. Putin said if they knew what they were eating, they would go crazy. In which you would, because actually, if you look into human beings eating other human beings, it actually causes brain damage. So this is why everybody's wigging out right now. Because if you're eating fast food, I'll say allegedly, might be not eating a cow. Just saying.
You guys, I just watched a post saying that people live inside the Grand Canyon and zoomed in, and there was like houses. I am legitimately, I can't even believe I'm admitting this, 54 years old. Never knew this. What? Who lives in the Grand Canyon? Like, I feel like I don't know shit now.
Politicians should live on minimum wage and not have health care, and they should not have congressional pensions that allow them to amass wealth from taxpayers per day. If the American people ever understood the congressional pension system, they'd have pitchforks and torches and be storming the Congress right now.
I bet you the minimum wage would jump up quite a lot if they had minimum wage.
The true vampires in our world today are the same people that are vampires before, the people that want to live forever. I don't think you can do that without sucking the life out of somebody else.
That's a great way to think about it.
It's always been extreme wealth. You get as rich as you can and you keep it for yourself as much as you can because everybody will try to take it from you. There are ways to be powerful in the world that always cost something to somebody else. Vampires do exist today, and you certainly don't want to be a victim of one.
Just got done watching a video of a guy saying he gets paid to go to the mall and stand on the elevator every day. And there's levels. You can get paid to stand on the elevator. You can get paid to go in the restaurant. You can get paid to walk through the mall. He didn't disclose who was paying him to go walk in to be by the elevator and do those things. But he also said there are other actors in LA that go to the mall, that go to these stores to make it look like it's the place to be, y'all. So I had to say this. Are the people that have the accidents on these main highways in LA, Atlanta, Texas, New York, are they paid actors as well? Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. And I know we got people that get paid to be in the crisis actors. Make it make sense, y'all. All of these people are getting paid to
apparently. I mean, what about the police chase that's in LA every single day? There's always a high speed chase in LA. Every day there's a high speed chase. Like, are those got to be actors? How can that happen every single day in LA? Doesn't happen like that anywhere else. There's other cities in America that have way more population than LA. But in LA, for some reason, there is a high-speed chase every day. The home of Hollywood, the home of the movies. There's a high-speed chase every day. But I remember back in the day at the mall, y'all don't know if they still do this, but we used to go to the mall and there'd be people that would pay you to do a survey, right? They'd pay you like $15. Takes like 20 minutes. That would be our lunch. We'd go to the food court and get our lunch back in the day. I don't think they do that no more. So I can see how these malls would want the image to look like their mall is busy. Because when you walk through the mall, y'all, nobody has bags. Nobody's shopping. It's very rare where there's people like that got a handfuls of bags. I go to the mall usually after we eat a big lunch and we just go to walk off a little bit of the calories. That's 9 times out of 10 we go to the mall. Maybe a hat, but that's about it.
It's supposed to be underwater starting tomorrow. So me and my
Hawaii.
We're gonna dig out some trenches and hopefully divert some of the flooding. Fingers crossed it's not that bad, but I'm a little nervous.
Anybody else think they're just making shit up on this dinosaur documentary? Just in passing right now, they said, oh, and one time it rained for 1 million years. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? 1 million years? That's not even a real number. 1 million years, and you're gonna laugh at creationists because they think that it rained for 40 days and flooded the whole earth? 1 million years? Shut up, dude. What do you want, Camino? Get out of here.
No drainage, nothing.
David, I recently saw he's like trying to copy your lectures a little bit. Maybe you didn't see, but this is a good example of a Western Iranian. He comes to America, encourages this war, but then he's not going to fight in there. He's not going to enlist. He doesn't go back to Iran. Not going to fight in the war. Are these examples of Mossad paid influencers, or are they just completely brainwashed and don't know how to submit to the fact that Trump completely lied about everything he said he was going to do in his campaign?
So Patrick David, he actually got in touch on Monday. He wanted to interview me. He wanted me on his show. And what happened was that was the same day that there was a concerted online campaign against me. Like it was just weird in that, you know, I went on Twitter and like everyone was attacking me. And like it was the same talking points. So I'm like who are these people and why is this happening all at the same time? Mm-hmm. So that interview request from Patrick David, I'm like, you know, like this must be a setup. Yeah. He wants me on a show so that he can provoke me and say something really stupid.
You know, I used to be a fan of Patrick Bet-David before the election. Once this election went down, I could tell he was paid by the Republican Party. He could do no wrong. Trump could do no wrong, could say no wrong. Anything he did, they were like. So right when I saw that, I don't even watch him no more, y'all. I used to like watching them talk about money, talk about business, and the occasional they'd get into like some conspiracy type stuff. But now, after I saw that election time, I was like, oh, I can't do business with somebody that is a sellout like that. And this guy can do no wrong because does a lot of wrong, yo.
It's the darkest thing you've ever seen in the music industry.
I've seen some crazy shit, bro.
some probably demonic shit, just fucking walked away from it.
Like demonic meaning like?
Nah, just like, let's say people offered like weird shit. Like, let's say some fucking witchcraft or some dumb shit. I stay away from all that. I'm like, fuck that. Oh man, I'm glad.
That's real?
Yeah, bro. I think everybody in the music industry does it.
What is that? How does that work?
I don't know, bro.
The top 1% of elites don't fall asleep like you do. They program reality before they do. Every night before they fall asleep, they make sure they enter a theta state, which is the doorway between the conscious mind and the quantum field. Nikola Tesla is the perfect example of this. He would fall asleep having business meetings in his head and imagine himself working on his inventions. And as he slept, those answers would come to him. This is because your brain does not know the difference between imagination and reality. Your body begins preparing for that reality as if it's already real. So if you fall asleep replaying fear, heartbreak, death, trauma, that is the frequency that you are tuning into for the next day. But if you fall asleep embodying the version of you that already has it, the simulation has no choice but to deliver matching outcomes. You are not...
Oh, I thought the clip was over. Sorry about that. Y'all, that is true. Everything I'm doing now, right, with YouTube, supporting my woman, supporting my kids, I didn't only think this a long time ago when I was 18, 19, but I felt it. It's one thing to think it and it's one thing to feel it in your soul, y'all. So if you're constantly thinking and feeling negative things, that is very powerful. What she's saying is 100% true. All this stuff I'm living now is things I've thought and felt in the past, and things I'm thinking and feeling now is gonna boost me into my future, y'all. I'm not thinking like, damn, I'm gonna be broke in 5 years, or I'm gonna have to do this, I'm gonna have to do that. Like, no, I'm thinking like greatness. And I don't know, I've always thought like that. There's no secret recipe, there's no secret book. I don't know if you just have it or you don't. Either you're negative or a glass half full, glass half empty type of person. I don't know. I've always been a glass half full type of guy, right? I've always, even when I was going through my offing myself, depression, all those dark things, I knew going through this is leading to the good life. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that, but I just felt what I'm going through now is going to lead me to greatness. And I don't know why, y'all. That was before internet, before motivational videos, before motivational speakers had so much access to them. I felt that in my soul, y'all. And I'm reaping the benefits. And who knows what the future holds, but I'm telling you, if you're thinking negative and all that, you need to flip that script.
You are remembering. Never forget how powerful you are.
Shit.
At least it ain't a mountain lion. It's a bobcat. Blended in though. Barely see it.
Menudo. This is going to gross a lot of people out. Should I say it?
Just say it.
So there's this very popular dish in Mexico called menudo, pozole, and it's obviously made with pork, with pig and the intestines and all these things. I don't like it. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
They might people might say, "Oh, you're not no real Mexican. You don't eat menudo." I guess I've never liked menudo. It's actually the original menudo was made with human parts.
No way.
Yes, human parts. And it started in those times with the Aztecs. They would sacrifice these humans, these rituals, to their goddesses, their deities, and so that they would sacrifice these humans, and they would make these soups, the menudo, the pozole, ridiculous. And they would eat it. Right?
Everybody knows what Stonehenge is. Once you reconstruct the original plan, it had this very special, unique geometry. It also appears to have been carefully located, not just randomly placed, but carefully located on the surface of the earth at a very precise and specific place. Recently, it was discovered that there were not just two types of stone being used, there was three. The outer big ones that we kind of picture are called sarsen stone sandstone. They're stones that are high in quartz. Quartz is a mineral that can actually produce electricity when it's placed under pressure. Its inner rings are formed of a rhyolitic bluestone, which is an igneous rock. Sarsen stones, they came from about 20-25 miles away, quarried and transported. The bluestones came from around 120 miles away. They were quarried in Wales. At the center of the monument, it's probably fallen down now, but there's a stone called the altar stone. And it's on that solstitial alignment. Well, they discovered that the altar stone was a completely different, unique type of rock. How did they discover that the altar stone was a third type of rock? Well, because it had a high metallic content, particularly barium. I don't know what the implications are of that yet, but it was a distinct type of rock. That's how they were able to find its origins in northern Scotland.
See, we think they're dumb back then, and chisels and rocks and pulleys. Like, people are ahead of their time, literally.
Two of my roommates were brutally stabbed and murdered while I was in the house. It was supposed to be a 7-man massacre, including me and I. I don't know if you guys are sensitive, but I have actual footage of the homicide.
Oh. Do you still live there right now?
Yeah.
Don't show them the camera. We're streaming to YouTube. We can't see violence there, but we can watch it.
Oh, he's got homicide photos. I don't know if I
It's like
want
a dark podcast.
No, I want to see something gnarly, dude.
Comedy
I
show.
just had a really good burger. I'm afraid it will come back up. No, show me. Show me.
Here we go.
Fuck!
Oh, I see it. Oh,
Oh,
God.
that's
All
a lot
right,
of
if you
blood.
guys want to find this guy, he can show you.
I've never even been on a carrier.
We need to get you a trip out to one, even for a day.
Right on.
Aircraft carrier flight deck, one of the most dangerous places on the surface of this planet. You got jets, aircraft that are taxiing, turning, exhaust, going into afterburner. Landing cables are getting pulled out. There was a video, an aircraft hooked down, hits the cable snaps, and of course it's whipping across the flight deck. And one of the chiefs is grabbing his belt and starts pulling it off as he's jumping over the cable because he knows it's probably going to impact some people's legs, and he's getting a tourniquet ready in his hand.
No way.
Yeah.
What do you mean, why would you want to eat pizza? I don't know, why get up in the morning? Why look at the sun? Why enjoy a rainbow? Because pizza is just an open sandwich. President Trump, we need someone deported immediately. Yes, he's calling pizza an open sandwich.
This word has always come up, and everyone has only started to question it. This clip always stuck with me, and once you notice it, you start hearing it everywhere. And here's what I find strange. It's not just the word, it's how casually it is just said and thrown around, all these interviews and all these celebrities using it. It's an inside joke that everyone else is in on except us, when the same words and the same jokes and the same visual keep showing up. You start asking different questions, and once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
You know, how pissed off are the Italians that pizza turned into that, right? Their food they created, one of the, I mean, you can't even talk about, I can't even say it's delicious. I love pizza, but not, you know what I mean? Like, it's tied to this. Like, how pissed off are the Italians that they did this, and this is what it turned, they used it for that. I'd be pissed if I was Italian.
A shocking and controversial statement that could potentially affect your visa.
You thought this was just a little
racist, right?
Look closer. Every symbol is a code. That is a Mason A. And the signs on each side of the door are real reminiscent of the black and white checkerboard, aren't they? This is clue 1, stay. Here, we got this building right across from it. The chair usually someone's sitting in. All of these windows are blocked off. Not to mention we're right across the street from. Also, look at this. You can go right under. And we got the old abandoned hotel. The clock in the middle. It's a citywide spell, guys.
If you had any kind of alcohol problem, any kind of heroin problem, or any kind of problem that you want to fix, put somebody in the fucking hole for 8 days, and I guarantee when they come out and you say, whatever your problem is, if it's heroin or alcohol, if you crack open that beer, you're going to do that again. I guarantee everybody will be like, ain't worth it, ain't doing it, I'm never doing that again.
That was gnarly. It was gnarly.
That was my last straw. I was just like,
good for Bam.
I am done, man. Like, because all you're left with is you stuck in a white, dirty room with you, yourself, and I, stuck with your thoughts. On day number 4, they gave me like a pad of paper with a pencil and whatever, and maybe some Stephen King book that I barely read.
That's
but
great.
Yeah,
not even a self-help book.
But man, you're just stuck in there to think, and you don't really want to eat the food because it's on this like rubber ass tray with like straight up mystery meat, man. I took a bite of this. It tasted like liverwort. I don't even know what. And then the green beans, they felt like they were plastic. And like, if you get pasta, it's just boiled pasta, and that's what you eat. There's no sauce, there's no salt, there's no
Butter,
pepper,
not even butter.
and stale ass cornbread. So like I barely ate in there. It was official torture.
And your wife couldn't do anything?
No. Nope.
was-
I just had to fucking power it out, and I learned a big lesson from that.
If you came out with alcohol right now, if alcohol wasn't a thing, and you like
Imagine.
invented this drink that is gonna make you like either really happy or really aggressive or really stupid, and we're gonna just sell it to the masses, people would be like, "Nah, mate, keep your funky juice. Like, we don't want that. That sounds terrible." And it's one of those things because it is so socially acceptable. The addiction side of it, the bad sides of it, really do fly under the radar.
Did you guys?
I mean, it's so socially acceptable because it's the sponsors for everything, right? They publicized it so much that it's a regular thing. But can you imagine if they came out with that just like yesterday? We're coming out with this new drug, right? It's going to either make you super happy or super, and if you drive while you're doing this, you're going to die probably or kill somebody and ruin your life. Like, can you imagine if they brought that out now? It would never go, right? It would never go.
That there's a place called Lyme, Connecticut?
No.
Okay. So, if you look into Plum Island off the coast of Connecticut, there is a bioweapons lab that they've tested, many diseases on animals and whatnot. And they have these ticks, these Lone Star ticks, right? And essentially, they weaponize the ticks with Lyme disease. And then that's how we got, what we know today as Lyme disease, because it started in Lyme, Connecticut. Okay. Precursor to that, during the Cold War, there was an operation that the CIA released called Operation Mongoose. You guys heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So during the Cold War, the same thing was happening. They were weaponizing ticks because they wanted to get Fidel Castro in Cuba and overthrow the government. So they bioengineered these ticks with Lyme disease and then released them on the sugarcane workers to cripple Cuba. And it's a cheap way to do it, right? So they're essentially saying the way they did this is the poor man's nuke, right? So they're saying that they can affect 10,000 people for about $1.40 a day. So $1.40 gets you 10,000 people wiped out. Wow. So you can cripple their system. You can overrun their medical system without destroying their resources. That's why they call it the poor man's nuke. And this is during the Cold War, and then that was the precursor to what we know as Lyme disease today.
Prior to that, there was never Lyme disease. They made it up.
They made it up. I mean, there's a place called Lyme, Connecticut. That's where it originated from. After the Cold War, about 10 years removed, they started to release it. And if you look at these ticks, they weren't native to that area, right? So this is happening again. Did you guys know this? It's starting to happen again.
With what?
The ticks. So here's the thing. These random ticks that aren't native to Texas and Nebraska, and they're moving north, these ticks are giving people alpha-gal syndrome. Do you guys know what that is?
No.
So alpha-gal syndrome is to where, in layman's terms, you can't eat meat anymore, red meat.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Now, why do you think that is?
Why can't you eat red meat anymore?
Well, think about this. Bill Gates, he wants you to eat
synthetic meat.
Synthetic 3D printed meat.
We didn't listen to them. And the last viewer that we sent up there, his soul is trapped on the moon. His body is in a coma in a special medical facility run by the CIA. And his family has been given like medical compensation or whatever. They told him, like, they told his family that the guy had died in the line of duty or whatever. And he's been held in stasis for years and years as they wait for his soul to come back from the moon, where apparently there's the capacity to lure and trap somebody's consciousness, which they finally did to one of these CIA remote viewers after repeatedly telling them not to surveil whatever's going on up there.
Strange. We had a guy on here named David Morehouse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was a remote viewer, a part of he was a part of these programs for a long time. I think it was in the 70s.
I read his book Psychic Warrior.
Early
on.
Yeah. And he said that he remote viewed the moon and there was nothing. He's like, it's all bullshit. There's nobody there.
I don't know whether he was being blocked or what, but I can tell you some other things about the moon that are much creepier than a city on the dark side of it.
Well, and here's another thing. If there was a city, why is it only on the dark side?
Well, because that side faces away from us all the time.
So because whoever built it doesn't want us to see it?
Of course. Of course. That's the convenient place to put it. There's also another reason that's technical, which is that if you put, we've been studying this in terms of potential lunar colonization, that if you put listening telescopes, like the Arecibo dish, stuff that's meant to convey signals across space. If you put it on the side of the moon that faces the Earth, there's too much interference with radio signals coming from the Earth. So if you want to have basically interspace communication from the moon to elsewhere, it's better to put something on the side that always faces away from us, so that you're not bombarded with radio signals that are being transmitted from the Earth.
Right.
That's a technical reason why you would do it, but mainly I think it's, for concealment purposes. Okay, but the story of what's going on the moon is a lot more. It's a lot more startling than finding a city on the dark side of it, right? Because you could be dealing with a natural satellite that has been colonized at who knows what time by whatever spacefaring civilization. No, it looks like there's a much more disturbing scenario here.
So people were on Google Earth and started noticing these big, round, fortress-looking things in India. At first, nobody knew what they were, but when you zoom in, you can literally see bodies just laying there. Creepy, right? Turns out they're called Towers of Silence. They come from the Zoroastrian faith, one of the oldest religions in the world, and the Parsi community still practices it. Basically, they believe you can't bury bodies in the ground or burn them because earth and fire are sacred. So instead, they leave the body out in the open, the sun dries it, and vultures come in and take care of the rest. And here's the wild part. For them, it's actually seen as eco-friendly and even charitable because nothing goes to waste. But when you look at these towers on Google Earth, you'll sometimes see these red patches inside, and yeah, that's exactly what you think it is. Most of these places are now closed off to outsiders, which makes it even more mysterious. And honestly, while the tradition makes sense for their culture, if you're not used to it, it looks straight up haunting.
Yeah.
So now I gotta ask, would you consider something like this eco-friendly and smart, or is it way too creepy for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
A lot of y'all don't even see what's going on. Beyonce mama is in Houston selling gumbo. I wouldn't eat nothing from that lady. I wouldn't drink a cup of water from that lady. A lot of y'all are lining up because y'all are so blind. Y'all don't have the eyes to see, and y'all idolize Beyonce so much that y'all like, oh, that's her mama. I ate some gumbo from Beyonce mama. I had some gumbo by Beyonce mama. You don't know what that lady doing to that gumbo. Those who have the eyes to see right through these people. You can see the demons in these people if you really have the eyes to see. Y'all don't see it. Y'all got friends that be around y'all that don't like y'all and y'all can't see it. But I see right through this lady.
I can taste. That is good. You need this for you need this for your soul. You need this for your soul.
I just saw a gentleman claim that he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show because he was a child prodigy chess player, and that just after he got off set, he looks to his right and sees Ellen's dressing room door open. It was open just enough that he can see her manually dislocating her jaw, embodying an entire Gelson's rotisserie chicken in one gulp. She then turned and looked at him and hissed. He sprinted all the way to his dressing room and tried to tell his mom, but she didn't believe him. And I'm pretty sure that's not the first time somebody has told a similar story about Ellen DeGeneres. And a lot of people in the comments are saying, are you sure that was a rotisserie chicken? Let me know what you think in the comments.
Hola, hola, hola.
Like why? Why?
No pasa nada. Estate tranquilita que no pasa nada. No pasa nada, no pasa nada.
I've looked up.
Like these people that do like why like these half dome hikes and there's so much like why? You know what I mean? Like I don't got it in me. I couldn't ride that bike trail. It's a beautiful view, but you're just on the edge of death, right? But I guess people just get their thrill from that. But man, like, have you ever seen Half Dome hike videos of the Half Dome? Hell no. First of all, it's crowded. When I go hike, I like to be all alone. I don't want to be with the crowd. Hiking Camelback, it sucks. It's not my thing. I don't want to go out there and hike and everybody and their mother's on the trail and you're following. Like, no, that's not hiking, right? I'll do it if I'm with somebody and they want to go. But like to go out there by yourself, like who wants to hike that when it's crowded? Like, I don't know.
A virus that has been identified by science to be a virus: influenza, common cold, corona, polio, measles, mumps, rubella, HIV, rabies. I've looked them all up. You know that science has published that every one of them targets, everyone that I've researched, they know every single one of them, HIV included, targets nicotine receptors. Therefore, guess what the antidote is? Nicotine. Guess where nicotine is found the most? Tobacco. Guess what? 200 countries right now in unison have been told to ban access to all citizens by the year 2030, and they're all doing it, including the United States of America, tobacco and nicotine agents. Okay.
The difference between a chronically ill, dying human being of diabetes and a healthy human being is less than a teaspoon of sugar in the blood at a time. Do you know how much sugar is in one soft drink? 8 teaspoons. And now you're giving it to a child, consuming 8 times what would be considered catastrophic in their bloodstream at one time. And you wonder why we're chronically ill, chronically obese, and chronically dealing with diabetes and metabolic disease.
It's 2026. No, it's not. It's 1446. You see, you confused. You brainwashed. It's 1446. And I can tell you how I know. Because they stole time. Listen, it's supposed to be 13 months, but then they made it 12, right? You got to understand this. So you got to understand it's 130 years right there. And then you got to understand all the history that they stole. They stole history. You got to understand this. What they did was they conquered people, conquered shit, and said it didn't exist and changed the time.
What do you believe? Everything's not a conspiracy.
No, it ain't a conspiracy. You gotta understand this.
Everything's not a
conspiracy. No, it's not a
conspiracy.
conspiracy. Niggas, I'm playing with. I'm talking about shit that's true. It's not a conspiracy.
No, I hear you.
For real, it was 13 months. If it wasn't 13 months, it wasn't no.
But I'm saying, like, what do you believe? That's what?
I don't believe shit. What? Ain't nothing to believe. I just know. Listen, belief is what man thinks is true, and it's a different thing when you talk about a true statement and a truth statement. A true statement can be proven false. I'm gonna tell you a true statement. Milk is good, but it can be true or false. I'm gonna tell you a true statement. We stuck because who the fuck got out, right? It's different ways, and people don't understand the difference between the true statement and the truth statement. What I give you is the truth, nigga. I'm a prophet of the Creator.
Dutch Bros has a drink called Golden Eagle. Now, I'm not too sure what exactly that means, but I know that in a large, it's clocking in at 138 grams of sugar for this coffee somewhat drink. Let's measure that.
There's people that start every single day, Monday through Friday, off with that before work. Every day, Monday through Friday. I only get a break on the weekends. Some do it every day. Start your day off with that. How's your day going to go if that's how you start it? You're stuck in that rat race. Ridiculous.
So that's either 38 cubes of sugar or 29 teaspoons of sugar in this entire drink.
People don't know this, but oranges were never supposed to be orange. The skin actually has more vitamin C than the fruit. Oranges evolved in the warm tropics of Southeast Asia. In that climate, ripe oranges actually stay green because chlorophyll acts as a natural sunscreen against the constant heat. But in the 15th century, Portuguese traders brought oranges from tropical Asia to cold Mediterranean Europe. When temperatures dropped in the winter, the cold broke down the chlorophyll and revealed the orange pigments underneath. Europeans had never seen a green orange, so they assumed that orange was what ripe looked like. That's why the industry gases orange fields with ethylene to break down the chlorophyll or dyes dyes them with a chemical called citrus red #2. The only reason you think an orange-colored orange is normal is because someone took the fruit somewhere cold enough to change its color, which is pretty insane.
We have come to
Terrible.
a sporting store to get my kids a bat, and I want y'all to look at this crap.
There's a lot of money in baseball, y'all.
Why is that backwards?
I sold a glove for $200, bought it for 10.
$500 for this bat.
Yard sale.
500. But look at this one. This one's $450. That just keeps getting. Oh, this one's only $129, so it's cheap.
Shit.
But like, it gets worse. Hold on. So a glove. You want to get your kid a glove? This glove right here. $330. What else do we have here?
This is the material.
I don't care what the material is, unless it's made out of solid gold. It ain't worth $300. That one's also $330.
But Mom, look, this is a good deal.
Why? What's a good deal?
This is a good
Show me
deal.
the good deal.
So you see this bat? How good
I
it
see
is?
this bat. It's beautiful. How much is it?
It's only $450. But this is the
Oh,
best
it's
bat.
only $450.
This is the
This is a
OS.
good bat.
Let's
This is
look
a
at
good
this.
bat.
$450. No. Here.
And it's perfect. Like feel the handle. 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 Feel the handle.
No. This is ridiculous.
Like, that's what sucks, y'all, because these kids see, when I was growing up, I got a baseball glove at Walmart. You know what I mean? I didn't know different brands of bats at that age when I was playing baseball. But now, like she said, this is an OS bat. Like, she watches bat content. So, of course, the people on YouTube ain't going to have cheap bats. They're going to have the best of the best. Probably don't even pay for it. People send it to them just to use, so that people like that little girl will tell her mom, I need this bat. I don't want the Walmart bat. I can't go to my softball team with that Walmart bat. Everyone's got this. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's something to look forward to when my sons are older, because I want them in sports, and seeing how it is, y'all, because I see these kids now in school. They got Gucci belts, Gucci belt buckles, Gucci, Nike, $300 pair of shoes, $100 shirt, because they see all these celebrities on TV wearing it, and they think that's how I gotta be.
Death taxes are. Have you ever heard of that? Death taxes? Well, this is how you lose your generational wealth. If you're not smart enough to understand, or parents are not smart enough to understand that they're going to leave the earth one day, and they might want to keep their kids whatever they worked hard for, to give it to them, and not give it to a lawyer, not give it to,
snakes.
Let the kids even take all the cash and squander it or whatever. So I wanted to explain something about how generational wealth works, and how assets work over cash. So when you're leaving things, right? And how taxes work with death tax. So my buddy Mark, his parents were loaded. They owned over 1,500 acres right in the middle of Palm Beach. Owned that marina over there next door to, Key Lime House.
Okay,
That's
that one, yep,
the next
yep.
door where the Lady K, the fishing boat. My neighbor, Mark,
Yep,
you know
yep,
him.
Mark.
Met
Yeah,
him.
I remember.
Coffee Mark.
Yep,
He's
yep,
addicted to
that's it.
coffee. He's got every grain of coffee. And I have a coffee trail behind my house to go get coffee in the morning at his house.
That's dope.
And he tells me, he goes,
Can't hate on
"Man,
this dude."
if I would have known, me and my brother and my sister, my dad and mom died. They left us all this shit. We sold it. We thought we were going to be set for life. And death tax. Never heard of it before. Never saw it coming. Took over 80% of their profit. And they were set. They were all set. It was all done. And the parents had it all paid for. And how can that be? And how can the lawyers and everybody take all this stuff, and they found out about a death tax? And you got to find out, if you want generational wealth, how to avoid that shit. Because what happens is, if you have a piece of, let's just say a carcass is laying in the street of some kind of raccoon or something, what happens? You can either clean it up, or somebody else is going to clean it up, like an eagle or some kind of vulture. It's going to come pick it apart, and that's what they do, man. Vultures. When you die, they come at you. Every lawyer will come at, if they see money, right? They will come at your kids, and they will try to separate the kids to where they all have their own attorney. They're not working together. They're working against each other. So you have to fight your sister and your other sister through all three different lawyers who are all on the clock, getting paid, and all talking behind each one of them's back, talking about, let's just run this thing into the dirt till we get paid. I'm down if you're down. Okay, lawyer talk. The problem with this world is lawyers. And they've really put everything in. Are you a lawyer? Sorry. It depends on what lawyer. So here's the point. The problem, and you'll probably agree with me, every single obstacle that these lawyers put in front of you are not for you. They're for future lawyers. Have you ever seen a shirt, a tag on the back of your shirt? Have you ever bought a little stuffed toy and seen the tag on the back? They've gotten longer.
So you know how the Rothschilds own all the banks and BlackRock owns all the businesses? Well, who runs the car market? There's an answer. And if you're in the car business, you already know which company I'm talking about. It's our big brother, Cox Automotive. And if you're not in the car business, you may be unfamiliar with that name, but let me enlighten you to what companies they own. Kelley Blue Book and Auto Trader. And you might be thinking, okay, big deal, they own a couple shopping sites and they tell me how much my trade's worth. If only it were that simple. Those are just their customer-facing sites. They also own the largest dealer wholesale auction in the world, Mannheim Auctions. And what else do they own? They own Vin Solutions, V-Auto, and DealerTrack. Vin Solutions is the CRM that we use on the dealership side. That is where we put all of the credit information, that's where we put all the vehicle information, and that's how we put all of that stuff into what's called a DMS, which is what DealerTrack is. A DMS is what organizes it in the accounting and the financing side of things in a dealership. And V-Auto is what we do all of our pricing based on, and it gives us all the information for all the competing dealerships and what people in the market around us are doing with their cars. So they own the supply, the information, when it's done, how much it's done for, and how you do it. So yeah, they run the car market. Fight about in the comments. Follow me for more content like this. Spitting bars, selling cars.
Damn
This is man
salesman.
versus wild, and I'm going to show you how to survive in this beautiful forest. First thing you'll need is some sticks. With sticks, we can make a campfire. So let's gather some up. Try not to get the moist ones. They won't like that well. Okay, so we got some sticks. Now we'll need some leaves and some dry leaves.
Did this kid accidentally catch Bigfoot on camera while filming his survival video? It's in the background here behind me in the still shot. Do you see it yet? Oh, there it is. Is it Bigfoot or BS? You tell us in the comments.
Hollywood is evil. That means, in the spiritual aspect of it, all these guys are building studios now. De Niro, Wahlberg, everybody's on this tsunami wave of what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. What if the technology changes? What if I can do it right in this room? What if I can make a whole movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger right here on an app? It's changed so much. The most important thing is the storytelling. I watched Jerry Maguire. They don't make them like that anymore, Patrick. Why? Because Hollywood controls the content. What's Hollywood about now? Wait, because I did this on Jamie Kennedy, I got in trouble. Jamie Kennedy said, you're wrong. Hollywood is not elitist. Hollywood does not have a small club that it feeds itself and they make Barbie and MCU. And that's it. They want the money. The machine of Hollywood wants the money, not the art, not the quality film like Jerry Maguire. They don't want that. They used to. But that generation's, those great directors, that decade of those storytellers is gone. Hollywood is going to die in the next 20 years because of that. Because people don't care. They're already getting right to their phone what they want.
We went to
Everything, y'all. Everything's gonna die. Vegas, the cars, the housing, the food, the fast food. It's all gonna die because of greed. Nothing good comes from greed, y'all. Nothing. Look at the Chili's. I don't even know what the stock is. I was gonna say look at the Chili's stock, but look how busy Chili's got because they were the one place that didn't do greed. They saw McDonald's charging $15 for a Big Mac, a fry, and a drink. And these patties, tiny pat. What do? Come get this burger. Thick ass patty, fries, all you can eat chips and salsa, a drink, all you can drink. $10. Restaurant quality, right? They didn't get greedy and their business is booming. Like, I don't understand why they don't see this. Why don't they see that? Man, if I come in cheaper and do something that's going to make the people happy, because at the end of the day, the people are the ones that keep this business going, we're going to take off. Because right now, everybody's greedy, penny pinching. And if I come in, like, I don't understand why people don't think like that. I don't understand why a casino in Vegas doesn't say, hey, we got a cheap meal, we got a cheap buffet, we got cheap whatever. And watch how good your business. Like, I don't understand people's mindset with business, y'all. It baffles me. Like, this greed, nothing ever comes good from that. Sure, in the short term it does, but long term wise, your company's dead.
Something out here not too long ago, and we were looking around and just looking at the people.
Right.
And I was like, man, yeah, let's get up out of here because people are just weird now. And there's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the theory. So I said the world ended in 1999.
I was watching that, man. You got me down that path. Okay, break it down.
I think the world ended in 1999. Now, what did Prince say? He had a song called what? Party Like It's 1999. Prince is a very smart guy. Now, what happened after that? Okay, they're saying Y2K, everything shut down. You know, they said it didn't happen, right? But here's the
They kept
thing.
saying computers are going to reset and all that shit.
Computers are going to reset, so on and so forth. But why 1999? So if you look at every decade before that, it had a very distinctive look, sound, feel, fashion, everything. Music, movies. You're like, oh, that's the 60s for sure. The 60s was wildly different from the 70s, and the 70s from the 80s, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Can you pinpoint anything after that?
After what?
After 2000? After 99? Think about it. What's the fashion of 2010?
Okay, so what you're saying is that we can't see that.
Maybe from like the baggy to the skinny jean era. Maybe that's the only thing, and it's coming back to the baggy era.
How is it that Cubans are able to keep those cars from the 50s running today?
That was a question that I could not wrap my head around. There's an embargo. They can't import parts. And even if you could, how are you going to get parts for that old of cars?
Yeah, who would even produce that?
Right. And so what I found is how incredibly resourceful and resilient the Cuban people are. I had the driver of one of the old cars I was in explain the car to me when he had put up the convertible top. And a lot of these designs in the cars are not even original designs. They had recreated some parts to, let's say, pull the convertible part, the manual part over when it started raining, because they had no other choice. They needed a car, and something can always be fixed. You just have to be willing to go the extra mile. And in other countries where you're not, trapped behind an embargo, it's probably cheaper a lot of times to just buy a new car or buy another used car than it would be to go to the extent of fixing a car. But in Cuba, there is no other option, or at least there wasn't an option for many years until recent times. And now they have these cars that aren't the exact replicas, but they look like brand new, fresh off the lot vintage cars from the 50s.
Dope.
I just knew I was looking into the face of another intelligence, another species like us.
You ready to have your mind blown? Did you know that your TV is actively taking screenshots every half second? So that's 2 per second, right? Times 60, which is 120 per minute, times 60 minutes, which is actually 7,200 photos per hour. What is it doing with those? It's sending them to the company so they can review whatever you're watching on your TV. If you don't believe me, go to the search bar just right now. Try this. Type in TV taking screenshots. Try this. Legitimately. Watch the first couple of videos. They're doing a lawsuit right now. This is serious because they're watching every single thing that you're doing on your TV, including like if you plug in HDMI on your laptop and you're streaming video games, absolutely everything. 7,200 photos per hour, which I calculated is roughly between 3 to 10 gigabytes per hour that you're watching your TV, that it's draining from your data. You wonder why your internet's slow. Go ahead, type it.
Unfucking real. We all got flat from the same fucking pothole. Holy shit. Look at this guy's flat. Holy shit. We're all the way down there, everybody. I was trying to get a picture of the culprit here. They beat us.
Damn, that's a big ass pothole.
The heroes, the heroes. Oh, no pictures. Okay.
Fuck, no pictures.
Update on the situation here.
Damn, look at that.
And what, they'll pay for it? Yeah. That's why I just went to... Now we got News 12 on the scene.
They're allowed to take pictures,
New York
though, huh?
really is a fucking shithole.
The ones that are controlled are allowed
There
to.
is a piece of Mexican TV news footage that has lived in my head rent-free since I was 3 years old. If you are Hispanic, you have likely heard of Primer Impacto, but if you haven't, it is essentially a Hispanic TV show that covers current events and news stories and has been broadcasting on Univision since 1994. I'm going to be discussing a broadcast from 20 years ago following the story of an unidentified object in the sky. Essentially, back in May of 2006, a group of videographers were in a cerro in Monterrey, or a mountain range in Monterrey, gathering footage for a nature-type documentary. While they were gathering their footage, this group of videographers noticed a strange object floating alongside the mountains. According to them, this object looked very human. It looked like it was wearing black clothing, and it looked as though it was riding on top of a broom. This led the videographers, those at Primer Impacto, and the audience to believe that what had been captured on camera was a witch.
Mexico is
It's
so
alleged
crazy.
that during this time, Monterrey was kind of a hotspot for strange and paranormal occurrences like this. And these videographers aren't the only ones who saw something strange. Primer Impacto actually gathered testimonies from 2 police officers who experienced something quite similar. One of these police officers was patrolling an auto lot late at night when he heard a strange rustling sound in the trees. He stepped out of his office to see what was going on, and he saw 2 unidentified objects. He describes these objects as looking very much like people dressed in all black clothing, and they were both hunched over, much like the object in the first video. Terrified and confused, this police officer watched as these 2 objects flew over the Santa Catarina graveyard. And this graveyard just so happened to be located right behind the mountain range where the videographers captured their witch on camera. A second police officer testified to being attacked by an older woman who appeared to be floating on her own. The attack left him unconscious and he had to be assisted by EMTs, which is when he gave his testimony. It's important to note that both of these police officers were drug tested and were given psychological testing to see if they were prone to hallucinations. In both instances, they tested negative. Multiple questions have been raised as to whether or not these 2 testimonies have anything to do with the object captured in the sky.
Damn. I mean, witch or not, what is it?
Although there is strong speculation that this might have been a witch, there's also a lot of talk about it being an extraterrestrial being. There are also
Like a
multiple
jellyfish?
theories online about it being CGI, about it being a balloon or a UFO, but there is still no solid answer as to what exactly these videographers caught on camera. I watched this broadcast live when I was 3 years old, and it's one of my most vivid childhood memories. And it's probably because of this that I spent my entire life thinking that they definitely caught witches on camera. There's something very odd about the way that the object moves in a perfectly straight line, and it's moving super smoothly, not to mention it's still visible when it goes in front of the mountain despite it being black. I don't know if this is a witch or an extraterrestrial being, but I definitely don't think that it's CGI or a balloon. But what do you think? Do you remember watching this, and do you have more answers than me? Because I've been looking for years and I can't ever find a solid answer.
I got paid by Rock Nation. Jay-Z paid off the jury, and he paid off the judge and did a verse for the judge's grandson. Right? Oh, God. And he paid the Mexican dude to stab Tori in prison. And he paid off the doctor to say that she got shot when she really wasn't. And he paid off everyone else. Like yo, and I'm like, okay, this is so stupid that no one's gonna believe this.
Y'all not understanding what's going on. Let me fully explain this to you. I told y'all, $1 for the NFTs, right? I sold these shits to my fans for $1. People came, some people bought 20, some people bought 5, some people bought 60. It doesn't matter how much you bought. It was only $1. You spent $60, you bought 60. I need y'all to understand, one of those copies right now is going for 50,000, 60,000, 60,000. Yo, my nigga, and these are sold. They're sold. Go look at the list right now and see how small the sellers list is getting. Y'all don't understand what the fuck is going on? Y'all don't understand I just cracked the fucking industry? Y'all don't understand I just cracked this shit? I just cracked this whole shit. It's cracked. It's over. I cracked the whole shit. It's over. It's over. No more middleman. All y'all artists out there, fuck your label. Fuck the nigga that's telling you, yo, you gotta wait for this day on Spotify and on this. Fuck that. Nigga, it's over. Y'all gonna get paid. And your fans gonna get paid. And they gonna keep coming to you. Why? Because y'all making money together. This the digital trap house. Welcome, niggas. You're fucking welcome.
Okay, hold on.
He's locked up right now. He's in prison, I'm guessing. I think he's still in prison. Got stabbed. I wonder why.
I just found out that in Justin Bieber's music video called Where Are You Now, there's a million things in the background, and some of it, I can't imagine you finding this out and not think something strange is going on in the entertainment industry. So it really is the last slide that is the most jarring, but he mentions you got alien stuff. Over here it says, help me please. You know, there's a whole theory about what happened with Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Like, I'm not even gonna, but do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's this negative stuff, like scary, sad stuff, Illuminati stuff, triangles, pyramids, devil horns. He's got horns like 15 times in it. But then at the very back, and you got like hell symbology and stuff. But at the end of it, there's a list of words. See, it says, help me please there. There's a list of words, and it includes, it's about to pop up right here. It includes God, Satan, Nazareth. And I'm just wondering what's the big idea with all of that. And there is so much more than that. If you go on YouTube and slow it down to 0.25 speed, you'll see a ton of weird stuff.
I'm going to say this once for the people in the back row. You have to be an elite rich to live comfortably in New York City. This is not Texas. This is not Oklahoma. This is not some flyover state. This is not Michigan. This is not Minnesota. I don't know whatever else you fly over because I fly over them, so I don't really know them. This is Manhattan. You need to be an elite rich to live comfortably here. And the reality is, if you're a single person making under 150, we call that poverty. Stay toxic, my friends.
I received. Why I moved out of Arizona, y'all. Had to move to Texas. She said it right there. This isn't Texas. I had to move to Texas. Buy a house out here for $225. That same house in Arizona is about $450, $500.
From very powerful people in the church, and they say you will go publicly and you will talk about, they gave me 10 beliefs, and in exchange we'll give you money, fame, power, limousines, women if you will, or guys if you will, or little boys.
This is the Catholic Church saying this to you?
Yes, Archbishop. I don't belong to the church anymore, so.
Hey bruh, they are playing right in our face, bruh. They must think we slow, or they just trolling at this point. So this man dropped another video proving that he's alive. But they fucked up. This video right here proves that this shit is fake. And I'm sitting here like, bruh, you cannot be serious, bruh. This man ring disappeared, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all the video. Just pay attention. I don't even care what he talking about. Look at the background, first of all. Everything just looked weird, bruh. But watch this interaction right here. Watch this man's hands, bruh. Watch the ring. Look at the ring. Gone. And then it reappeared. I'm gonna show it again in slow motion. Look at the ring. Gone. And then reappeared.
Now Charlie Kirk, they're saying that that shot was from 143 yards. We've got the acoustics from two different camera systems that were on the left and right side of Charlie Kirk facing the audience. The acoustics said that that shot came from 74 yards and not 143 yards to his front. They say there were no drones. We have video of a drone flying right in front of Charlie Kirk, away and upward at the same time the shot fired. Really? Yeah. So we looked at the drone, and what we found was there's a particular drone out there. It's got kind of like a hole shape to it. It's about that big. You can weaponize drones now. And not only that, you can install AI, so facial recognition. It will 100% pick your face out of 1,000 people. You can see it. So if I'm Charlie Kirk facing the audience, it flew over my head just like this, went just like that, and then the shot was taken. And it's out of the picture. It's so fast.
When did the Chinese land on the moon?
I have no idea.
2013. Did you ever see the video?
No.
So the Chinese landed on the moon in 2013, and they released a video for it. But pretty quick, that video was taken down, and they said, no, it's just a joke, because it was so bad. It was so fake. Because they didn't have, Kubrick,
All right, family, there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're doing it different. Y'all, I know I'm changing. I'm trying to find my lane, y'all, but I was doing some thinking like this channel here, this is my bread and butter. This is what pays the bills. This is what, this is the bread and butter. So I can't mess with it, y'all. So I decided to do like some deep dive on my second channel. Now, this video, I sent it out to somebody to get edited because I tried editing it. Difficult for what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for that WAV files type of editing. It's faceless, but I think in the upcoming videos, I'm going to have my face, not the whole time, but like pop up here to talk for 5 seconds and pop off in and out. You know what I mean? Because it's like an investigative type video. And I did the dolphin incident, y'all, and I just went deep on it. And, I'm hoping this guy edits it how I'm envisioning it. Anybody out there that does editing is very good at editing. I don't know if you're out there, reach out to me in my email. Maybe we can do some business together, y'all. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for, and that's what we're doing over there. I should be getting that video back today or tomorrow. I would like to put it out tomorrow, y'all, but it's going to be on my second channel and probably on my third channel. That's probably where I'll start doing the TikTok, like business type TikTok things that I was doing on my second channel. But right now I'm gonna get this video edited. I'm gonna get a video out for my members. Thank you everybody that recently joined the membership program. It's down below if you want to join. I want to do a video on that today, get it out to you guys later on this evening, get this video edited. But this is my bread and butter, y'all. I don't want to mess this up. You know what I mean? This is the bread and butter. So I hope everyone out there has a good Monday. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. This is Segovia signing out. Later.